Welcome to the Rhythm Skydiving Instructional Series. I'm your coach, Steve Lefkowitz. In this video, we'll talk about making adjustments to your pattern when things don't turn out exactly as planned. Of course, if all is well, fly your pattern as planned, turning at the locations and altitudes, we'll call these pattern points, you laid out for yourself before you boarded the plane, keeping an eye out for others and avoiding any erratic turns. As you fly, you might find yourself headed to reach your next pattern point higher or lower than expected. Here are some strategies to correct that. It can be helpful to fly your pattern in quarter breaks until final. Doing so gives you additional range to adjust your descent by flying flatter or steeper as needed to reach your targets. If you're headed to your next entry point higher than intended, from quarter breaks, return to full flight to increase your descent rate, or take the current leg out wider to lose more altitude. If you are headed to your next entry point lower than intended, you can make your canopy glide farther through control inputs. Half brakes with a tailwind, rear risers in a headwind. Consider cutting the corner from your downwind to base leg to shorten your total pattern length. Choose a different target and appropriate pattern points. Regardless of how you adjust, always prioritize altitude over position when making turns. That means it's better to commit to turning onto final at 300 feet in a different spot than you intended, rather than turn lower in attempt to reach a specific spot. Some things you should not do while in the pattern include: do not do S-turns to bleed off altitude, and do not spiral while in the pattern. Again, we recommend avoiding spiraling altogether. Once you turn on final, fly predictably and in a straight line in the landing direction that agrees with those around you. In general, it's best to fly with hands all the way up so the canopy remains in full flight until it's time to flare. Make only those adjustments necessary to avoid collisions, while maintaining your landing priorities. Thanks for watching, and have a great skydive.